Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advanced. This game is from the Grand Chess to Croatia, and with the white pieces we have Ivan Saric, and with the black pieces we have Magnus Carlsen. So Magnus just needs a draw or needs a win to win the entire tournament. So let's see what he does with the black pieces. So without further ado, let's start with this game. We have e4, g6, d4 and d6 going for the modern defense. Knight to c3, bishop to g7, and here just bishop to e3, a6, h4 and just h5. And here just going for this bishop to c4, knight to f6 and just knight to f3. And we have bishop to g4, but here's just bishop to g5, and here knight to c6, queen to d2, f6, and just pushing the bishop back, bishop to e3, but now just immediately striking in the center with this e5. And you could trade in the center, but here after d captures, you'd most likely see d captures. And instead of trading queens, you could also castle, but here just knight to d5 is the best move. And here after knight to e7, you play bishop to c5, and once the knight gets traded off, you play c6, attacking the bishop. Bishop moves back, queen captures, knight captures, and here after bishop to d8, you just trade that, and here black is going to lose the castling privileges, although you could still castle queenside. And here after f3, knight goes back, knight to c4, and here after b5, knight to a5. You'll most likely see this variation where white is going to castle queenside, and this knight is going to be a thorn in white's position, a black's position, and white will have a great game. But instead just directly going for the queenside castle, and this is a bit too aggressive play, but if it works, then why not? Here just knight caps on e3, just removing the one of the attackers that would have been good in the game after the queenside castle. But here just f captures, we have e captures, knight caps on d4, and here just knight to e5, just attacking the bishop. So now you have to move the bishop back, and here just c6. Very nice move by Magnus, because you want a defense, you want that structure to remain. Maybe this would be an idea in the future as well. And here just knight c to e2, and here just queen to e7. And in this position you have to be very much careful. How do you attack black? Black is most likely never going to castle kingside because of this bishop, so most likely queenside castle is an option. So you could infiltrate black's camp with a move like queen to a5. And here after bishop to h6, now you play knight to f4, bishop to g4, now you go for this a3. And here after king to f8, you play knight e6 check, and here most likely after king to g8, you just get the king in, queen in. You could trade, but that would come with the tempo, with an attack of the rook. So something that you wouldn't want to do. And here the other knight will join in, and both lines will be intertwined, and you wouldn't want that. So here just king to f7, and once the queen moves, rook a b8. But here after rook h to g1, rook h to f1, we have king to g8, and most likely when the queen is going to come in, you can see that the bishop is very nicely shadowing it, so you can give a very nice discovered checks. And here after bishop captures, just a few more checks, and most likely it's going to end in a draw. So instead of this drawish line, we get this knight to f4 by Ivan. But now comes this very nice bishop to g4 attacking the rook. We have knight d to e6 also going for this, but just bishop to h6. And here we have queen caps on d6, and you can see that Ivan Saric had just grabbed pawn, but the engine is saying that black is better in this position. What you have to understand in this position is, here after queen captures, rook captures, and king to e7, it's very difficult for white to actually start an attack as he wanted to do. He cannot double up rooks because this bishop covers this diagonal. Rook is going to have to go back probably here, and these two knights may look strong, but they are not doing anything much. And here after rook to d4, we have bishop captures. We have bishop captures, and this bishop captures, and just pawn captures, king captures, pawn captures, and you can see by the end of it all, you do have two rooks. But here in this position, white has a weak e4 pawn, and black is definitely going to take advantage and try to win this endgame. And in Magnus's hands, it's most likely going to be winning. And here rook to d7, but now just going for this king caps on e4, rook caps, rook to e7 check, king to f4, and rook to f1 check. King moves forward. Magnus even goes as much as g3 deep in the position, but there is no mating there. Rook caps on f6, but now just comes this very nice rook to g8 trying to defend that. But here just rook caps on b7, rook caps on h4, king caps on h4, and just rook to b3, and just rook a f8 asking for a rook trade. We have rook caps on c6, and here rook to f1 check, king moves up, rook to f2 check, and here just king to e3, rook caps on g2, and here after rook caps on a6, you have to understand that black's pawn and black's attack is just happening a bit too fast. You could even go for this. Once the king moves, capture this and push that pawn. It's going to be very easy. Here g5, but now just a4, and now here a rook to g3, king moves, and here rook captures, c captures, g4, and it's just very difficult to stop this. You cannot do anything in this position. Here king to e3 was played by Ivan, but it was also on this move, on move 37, that Ivan Saric resigned the game, and Magnus Carlsen got this spectacular victory, and with that he won the entire Grand Chess Tour Super United Croatia, and with actually I think he was 2 points ahead than everyone else, and he got that first place with 21 points, I believe, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, absolutely stunning play by Magnus. And everyone for watching, and do stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to be coming up with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you all.